Reciprocity. This is like a silent agreement that if someone does something nice for you, you feel like you should do something nice for them in return. It's like an invisible balance scale where both sides want to be even. Commitment. Once you say you're going to do something, you're more likely to do it just to keep your word. It's like making a promise to yourself and not wanting to break it because you want to see yourself as reliable. Social proof. This is when you look around to see what others are doing to figure out what you should do. If you see a lot of people doing something, you think it must be the right thing to do. Authority. If someone seems like they really know what they're talking about or they have a position of power, we're more likely to listen to them. You're more likely to follow a recipe from a famous chef than from someone you've never heard of. Liking. We're more likely to say yes to people we like. If someone is friendly, shares interests with us, or even just smiles and is nice, we're more inclined to help them out. Scarcity. If you think something is running out or won't be available for long, you want it more. It's like when a sign says last chance, and suddenly you really want to buy it, even if you didn't before. The door in the face technique. This is when someone asks for a big favor, expecting you to say no, and then asks for a smaller favor, which is what they really wanted. It makes the smaller favor seem not so big after all. The foot in the door technique. It's the opposite of the door in the face. Here, someone asks for a little favor first, and once you say yes, they ask for a bigger one. Saying yes the first time makes it hard to say no the next time. Mirroring. This is when you copy someone's body language or the way they speak, but very subtly. It's like when you start using the same slang as your friends without even noticing. It makes the other person feel more connected to you. Labeling. When you give someone a positive label, like calling them kind or helpful, they want to live up to that label. It's like giving someone a role to play, and most of the time, they'll try to fit into that role. The Benjamin Franklin Effect. When you ask someone to do you a favor, they end up liking you more. It sounds backward, but when they help you, their brain thinks, I must like this person if I'm doing something nice for them. The fear then relief procedure. If someone is suddenly scared or worried, and then those feelings are quickly calmed, they're more likely to agree to something. It's like when you're relieved after a scare, and you feel like saying yes to things more easily. The peak end rule. People remember the best part and the last part of an experience more than anything else. So even if something wasn't great overall, if it ended well, that's what sticks in their memory. The paradox of choice. Having too many choices can make it really hard to choose anything at all. It's easier to decide when there are fewer options. Think about how it's easier to choose what to eat at a small cafe than at a huge buffet. The Zeigarnik Effect. Unfinished tasks stick in your mind more than the ones you've completed. It's like when you can't forget about that one episode you missed and keep thinking about it until you watch it. Anchoring. The first bit of information you hear about something sticks with you and influences everything you think about it afterward. It's like if someone tells you a restaurant is expensive before you see the menu, you'll think everything on it is pricey, even if it's not. The halo effect. Your overall impression of a person changes how you feel about their other qualities. If you like someone, you're more likely to think everything about them is good. It's like when a teacher's favorite student can do no wrong. The contrast principle. When two things are presented one after the other, the differences between them seem bigger. It's like when you lift a light weight right after a heavy one, and the light one feels even lighter than it is. The bystander effect. When there are a lot of people around, everyone thinks someone else will help, so no one does anything. It's why it's important to ask for help directly if you need it in a crowded place. The decoy effect. Adding a third, less attractive option makes one of the other two options seem better by comparison. It's like when you're not sure about two things at a store until you see a third, worse option, and then one of the first two suddenly seems much better.